My mom is an artist, and she hosts these paint parties where people who aren't artists just come and paint. And apparently, people enjoy this. They think it's soothing. They're excited to have created something of their own, and they think that this is fun. I do not. It stresses me out. I used to say I don't have any creativity in me. It's like, I want you to say, this is exactly the color you use at this exact spot, and I want it to go exactly as I have in my head, and it never does, and so this is not enjoyable to me. But one day my mom pointed out to me, she said, no, Courtney, you are creative. You're just not creative in the same way. She said, you're creative with words. And I was like, okay, maybe that's the case. At least I'm more creative with words than I am on a canvas. And she's told me before that she doesn't like to write. That stresses her out. And it's so good that God made us totally different, because I'm so thankful for my mom and her art. It makes me happy. Every time I look at one of her paintings, I smile. The colors are bright, everything is beautiful. You can see the creativity in it, and it's just amazing. And it reflects God's creativity to me. I get to look at what my mom has done, and it reminds me of all the beautiful things that God has created and how He paints us a beautiful sky every single day. He has these wonderful landscapes that I get to go outside and see all of the time. He lets these beautiful, colorful flowers spring up, and people put them in vases and have them in their houses. And all of these things are beautiful to me. And so I'm so thankful that there are people out there like my mom who can reflect God's beauty to me and remind me of all of the beautiful things that God has created. Now, my dad is a builder, and he gets to create things. Now, my dad can't make something out of nothing, as God obviously does, but he can make something out of the materials that we have, which is more than a lot of us can do, right? It looks to us like he's made something out of nothing. There's a blank slab there, and all of a sudden there's a home, and his creativity shines through in that. He's the one that built my house, and he and I were bouncing ideas off of each other. Could we do here that would make this look nicer, and what could we do here to make this more functional and also be kind of cool? And so even though neither one of them are in any type of ministry for their regular jobs, they're reflecting God to the rest of the world. And all of us have that ability to do, no matter what our job is, no matter if we do something full time for God, or whether we just use the gifts that He gave us specifically to further His kingdom in some way, to reflect God to the world. Maybe you reflect God to the world just with your words, just with your smile, just with the way you treat other people in your office. Whatever it is that you do that God gave you specifically as a gift, you can use for the glory of Him. And we shouldn't be jealous of each other's gifts. We shouldn't be saying, why didn't God make me a builder? Why didn't God make me an artist? Why is it that I can't sit down and write anything and, not be frustrated? Because it takes all of us to make this beautiful world go round, right? If God was only like me and everything was practical, everything had to be useful, then it wouldn't be beautiful. And if God was just like my mom, then everything wouldn't be functional. It would just look beautiful, right? And obviously me and my mom aren't totally those ways either, but you understand what I'm saying. It takes all of us doing different things to make this world be what it is. And all of us are reflecting God's characteristics in some way, because God is all of the things. Whenever He tells Moses, I am, it's like, I am all of it. I am an artist. I am a builder. I am a writer. I am whatever it is that you are, God is the one that you got that gift from because He possessed it in the first place. And so we don't need to be upset about what God has made us to be. We just need to use it for His glory.